My friend Stefan here, he's got a whole sketchbook of different Guy Gardners he's collected over the years. So I'm gonna be adding one of this now.
There's a certain DC character that he hates, who's in the League of Justice.
Guy hates everybody, doesn't he?
He does, but there's one that extremely hates him.
I remember him and Blue Beetle had an issue. They had some issues in the old Justice League comic. They had a boxing match actually, which was pretty.
Yeah. I think it was Batman.
Oh yeah.
On a fist fight with Batman, and then Batman just
one punch.
Him.
Yeah, that's the most famous, probably the most famous moment in Guy Gardner's life is when he got knocked out with one punch by Batman. That's, the guy who drew that comic book, Kevin McGuire, is a guy that we know, and he says you couldn't imagine how many times I just get a request at a show to do a sketch of just one punch, and it's always like Guy going one punch or Batman going one punch, and it's always the same. But and he draws it a million times, and he's just like, okay, enough.
And the last one will be this one.
And you want the Shinto Samurai? Yeah. Sure. Oh, cool. That's an original character of mine.
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome too.
Yeah, it is cool.
Well, you're talking about ninja stars and you're right here.
So the story behind that was there's a writer named Warren Ellis who used to have a forum online called Whitechapel, and to keep the artists busy with interesting things to do, he would do this thing called Remake Remodel, which is where he would take a piece of like a couple of lines from a story that's out of print from like 100 years ago. And he would just take a couple of lines out of the story about a new character or superhero or something, and he would give us that line, and we'd have to interpret the character. So for this one, it was called Shinto Samurai, and it was the idea was it was this great samurai lord of this village, and he was cut down in battle, but he was cut in half in battle, and he lost his legs. And the smartest and wisest people in the village found a way to keep his body alive and keep his organs intact while they sent riders out all across the world to try to find a new pair of legs suitable for their master. And that was all we were given. And so a lot of people, we had over 1,000 entries come in all different variations of a lot of robot legs and stuff like that. I was the only guy that did a centaur. And I was like, I don't know how that happened, but it ended up winning the contest, which was pretty cool. So that was
maybe when his leg
it just seemed obvious to me.
Horse's head got cut off at the same time, and it was just
That's it,
Makes sense to
me.
Yeah.
Well, it's
awesome. Cheers, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then you gotta get
Tell him I said thank you to him too.
Oh, I will for sure, man. I'll pull this right out of the book for you, man, just because I think you might get my last one.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy, my friend.
Yeah.
See you again.
Yeah.
All right, Guy Gardner. Let's get something going. I should have plotted out my sketch first. This is the hard thing. This is the hard part, is doing the actual sketch. Okay. Am I? Okay. So I'm not sure. My mic's hot. Okay. Hi everybody. I'm John Guy Gardner right now, and I'm hoping I won't totally bollocks it up, because I'm doing it in my friend Stefan Nilsson's sketchbook, which is a sketchbook full of all kinds of Guy Gardner drawings, which are pretty awesome. And so I'm adding to this Guy Gardner collection right now. There's some pretty cool stuff in here. And yeah, so I'm hoping to do something that's at least on par with the awesome artwork in this, so we're going to try. Not too bad. How are you?
Good.
I'm just live streaming a sketch right now, but you're welcome to hang out and chat, man.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have any time to do any submissions today?
Possibly. I got, but it's kind of a full day because I've got the sketch battle at an hour, and I got 2 other commissions that I got to do still. So it may not happen. But what did you have in mind?
Kind of. I have a blank Batman 52, and I was kind of thinking of like an old school penguin on it.
An old school
Penguin.
penguin? Oh, cool, man. Yeah, that could be fun. All I can say is check with me a little bit later on, because I got a couple that I have to get done.
That's fair.
You know, and if I can, and if, you know, even I could even take it home and mail it to you if it comes right down to it, right? So.
Okay. Do you know if Justin's still here today?
Justin's still here. Oh yeah, Justin will be here right to the end, and I can always. And Justin's managing a lot of my affairs right now, so I don't mind. I don't mind. You know, if you want to just arrange something through him, we can. You know, we can always mail it to you or set you up with that. So.
Okay, yeah.
Justin's a good guy. He'll take care of you.
Yeah, do you know where he is?
I just saw him on stage a minute ago. He's got a black shirt on today, so you'll find him. Cool, man. Yeah, no worries. Love Guy Gardner. He's a cool character. I remember was it Justice League International comic? Justice League. Remember in the late '80s, there was that awesome Justice League comic that Kevin McGuire and Ty Templeton worked on. Remember the boxing match with Guy Gardner and Blue Beetle, which was just a blast. Could sign those for you, yeah. Awesome.
That's the ones?
I did those 2 covers. Yep.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, they were fun. Yeah. You want me to sign the piece, or do you want me to sign the cover?
Sign the cover. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
sure. Yeah. No worries. It's an awesome book, man. You got volume 2 as well?
I didn't. I got.
Oh,
small
cool.
ones.
Order them online.
Yeah, cool, man.
I wanted to check out the.
No, get that. Yeah, try the. He's got a whole range of awesome stuff. So,
Yeah,
you know.
I was getting like awesome vibes.
Oh yeah,
like
that.
Judge Dredd, like,
Oh, totally. Yeah. And then that's Black Eyed Kids.
Yeah.
Never heard about
I
it.
hadn't heard about that one.
It's such a. I didn't realize it was a whole world phenomenon. That this is a thing that stuff creeps me. He knew about it, eh?
Awesome.
That's creepy, man. The whole idea of it is just like.
dark, like crazy
Oh, yeah.
stuff. But even though I'm like kind of afraid of it, I'm just like yes.
It's healthy to have that kind of fear. It is good.
Thank you very much.
Hey, my pleasure, guys.
Hey Mike, what you doing right now?
I'm doing Guy Gardner. Am I live? Oh yeah, right on.
Switch it back to monitor.
Guy Gardner with his weird turtleneck. I usually try to find action figures to reference for characters like this. It's been, I don't know, probably 10 years since I last drew a Guy Gardner, so I'm trying to find action figures and stuff that are helpful for the good reference.
You guys good?
Oh yeah, man, that was real nice you do that for that kid today. Anyone who's listening right now, the guy who runs the show, Justin, just handed a kid $20. Random kid came by my table, just handed him $20 so he could spend it at my table because the kid liked my work, and that was pretty awesome. Just an example of how awesome this show is and how kind everyone out here in Manitoba is. It's oh, if you're confused, I'm live streaming right now, but that's okay. No, it's all good. I'm happy to sign your stuff for you, man. Yeah, thank you. Evolution. That was an awesome project. I love working on that. I actually modeled this evil cat after my own cat. I'm sure my cat actually has cybernetic claws and parts like that. I'm fairly convinced my cat Rama is actually a 9,000-year-old evil wizard trapped in the body of a cat, and at least that's what he tells us anyway. There you go, man. Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you. So yes, I am drawing Guy Gardner. He's an awesome character. Maybe my favorite Green Lantern. I didn't like him at first, but I've grown to appreciate the character over time. circle template. So I'm going to have to freehand his circle there, which is all right. I'm going to try to keep this one simple if I can.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this behind a lot of sketchbooks. This is really nice paper. Some sketchbooks aren't awesome to draw on, especially with ink. So I always put something underneath to protect the next page.
This is the BRAN-CON one then?
Because the ink will soak right through. I don't know why I'm looking at the camera. You can't see my face, but anyway. How you guys doing?
You get a trade dress and a version.
Oh, you were the Pikachu? Yeah. Ah, awesome.
The color versions are 20.
Okay.
These are smaller print runs.
Now that you see.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even
You got
know.
working hands and everything this time?
Well, it depends. Well, the story is different. It's like you see the bison in there,
Yeah.
and then the demon. And then the bison's missing, the skull's broken and bloody, and the demon's out the back, and Noah's shadows coming.
Yes. So,
if you wanted to get it marked up by Mike, you could mark
Put a little
up-
monster in the corner there.
yeah. Okay, well, I'll get those, and then I will see about getting one of these then too.
Sure, man.
That's,
Yeah, you can actually sort. He can sort you out for the buying of those. Yep, and then I can do a sketch on there if you want or something. Whatever you
so
like.
these are two different books then?
No, it's the same
Okay,
book, just different.
just different cover art.
Yeah. You didn't get a full set, so usually the version one.
Yeah.
So I only do sketches on the black and white one actually, just because
Okay.
the
I'll
coloring
have the white one then.
the coloring kind of repels the ink a little bit. But
Plus it's got a little blood gore on it. Like
oh yeah, I'll
Yeah,
throw some
you
blood
got it.
splatter on there for you, no problem, man.
So with the markup, is
So you see anything you like French or 10 or only $5? $5.
Do you want the Here.
on Visa.
Yep.
Thank you.
No, look at the other one side. It's only $5. So wow.
Nice and everything. I just love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, Mike did that cover too. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put these over here for the
Okay,
markup.
right on. Thanks so much.
That's actually me getting killed on the cover of that by the motorcycle.
Yeah.
I actually now I'm looking at it. How can you not see that?
Once in a while, I'll throw myself on the cover of a book,
Yeah, that's
or sneak a drawing of myself in there somewhere.
Get the Japanese sauce.
Which one are you after? This He-Man? Yeah, you got it.
I went with girls. Same thing.
It all works.
Erica.
There you go.
Ooh, right on.
My last one. I'm gonna pull out of the book for now, just in case. Might be my last one. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Hidden one in there.
Excellent. Right on. Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the little print shop I know.
There you are.
That doesn't
$5. Thank you very
print
much.
like that. Yeah. Got it. Mike,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, money.
no, I'm just saying,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
stealing one of Stefan's cards because they're new cards and they're like
Ooh, it's like a wooden card almost.
pretty.
Not sure I like those eyes. Change those eyes. Let's see. Could you do me a favor? With that hand, could you give me like one of those? Yeah. Gonna have to steal that hand.
Immortalized.
Prepare to be immortalized in a drawing of Guy Gardner.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You have a tenner?
Yeah. Change.
Yo, so I give you a 20 for Mike's 10.
Yeah, I'll take a picture for his marker. You don't have to freeze there like all day.
Yeah.
There you go. Beautiful.
Now I know how a model feels.
Sometimes
Where's
that
my
front,
day rate?
Yeah.
sometimes that front fist can be a tricky angle. But,
Boy, I had to get the knuckles in the finger.
yeah, it's just there's a lot of direction changes on the hand, and it's just kind of like easier to see sometimes when you got a live model. Make his hand nice and big. Did you want to sketch on one of those books? Is that what
Sure,
did you grab?
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That would be awesome.
So If you want, you could leave it with me and swing around again. I
Okay.
can put it on, or if you
That
want
would
to,
be
if you want to
awesome.
watch me draw it, we can do that too.
So you
Whatever
can step
works
the
for
guy
you.
and do it if you want.
Or we can step off of this, and I could do that right now.
Whatever you
yeah,
want
let's
to do.
that.
I'm
Sure.
easy.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll put this
I'm
aside.
just.
for
It's
a
great that
moment.
you guys are taking time out and doing this kind of stuff.
Oh,
so
for
whatever you
sure.
want to do, man.
Sure. So, would you like it on the one with the dressing or the one without?
The one without.
The
I
one
guess.
without?
Does
All
that
right.
make sense?
Plot something quick in pencil here. Let's see. Let's go with
I switched over to music while she was talking about the raps. I'll go back to the
Let me just think about what I want to do here. Do some kind of nasty looking thing. Let's see. Maybe I'll do like a.
Of course, I'm saying.
Struggling now. Let me see.
Yeah.
I'll think of something cool. Let me think of
Stop looking at me.
Let's go with, you know what? Let's go with, yeah. I'll draw, I got a demon I'm going to put on here, my own demons. I got a cool sketch I found. It's a drawing I did about 15 years ago. And I found
really?
a little scrap of paper in my room. And I'm like, oh my God. I want to make it into like a patch.
That'd be
But I
awesome.
don't know if I can even find it now. Okay, I'm killing some airtime here. You know what? I'll just draw something cool. Can't find my own Baba drawings. That's all right. We'll get it. Ooh, something like that. Yeah, let's go with the goblin guy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Little goblin face in there. All right, I'm gonna go right with my pen.
Oh, I bought some. Yeah, got some prints and got some graphic novels. I'm.
Yeah, man, there's some good stuff at AfterShock. Really, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Let's do like a nasty kind of skull head demon looking guy.
Some filthy old goblin.
Yeah. What I like about AfterShock's line is there's no superhero books really. It's just like
Do what you need to do.
it's just like horror books and like you know, science fiction stuff and sword and sorcery stuff and a little bit of magic and a little bit of
Yeah.
just weird fiction too, and really like mind-ripping horror.
And that's what's
Like
awesome.
a walk through hell, and some of these other books are just crazy. Like they're just crazy.
Well, that's where it's neat coming to this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah,
and
like-
seeing what's going on.
I love the. There's one called Unholy Grail that they did, which I did a couple of covers for, and it's kind of like this idea, like what if Merlin wasn't this like, what if he wasn't this guy that was trying to guide young
Yeah.
King Arthur? What if he was actually like an evil force that was trying to like destroy the
that's-
world using King Arthur with the Excalibur
Yeah.
as like a tool for destruction?
Using them as a pawn.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of a neat take on that. Really enjoyed the artwork in that too.
I do love the Arthurian legend.
Yeah, I love that stuff. Well, and you know, even the Pestilence is another cool book about the plague, except in this one it's like a zombie apocalypse
Yeah.
instead of a bubonic plague or that type of thing, right? So it's kind of cool.
It's time to get online and
Oh yeah.
get read more of this stuff.
Oh, for sure,
Get
man.
buying it.
For sure. All right, let's do a little.
Joe came around for your lunch and stuff. Sorry, guys.
No, dude, that's all right.
As you should be.
Well, I mean, sorry for Mike and Eric.
Never coming back. Never coming back to Brandon. That's it. Give him some horns. I just kind of plotted out with this ballpoint pen. This is a space pen. The space pen will actually draw on anything.
Really?
It'll draw on plastic. It'll draw on anything. It's like from actually. There's an episode of Seinfeld.
I was gonna say, you don't need a Sharpie for everything then. You can
Yeah, oh
actually-
yeah, no, that's it. And I'm useless with a Sharpie, so I use kind of a combination of this, and then I'll go in with the Sharpie. This just gives me the plot that I want to follow for my
Yeah, yeah.
sketch. And then, the Sharpie can lay the heavy blacks in and make it into a...
Give it the definition.
Yeah,
and the
absolutely.
shading and everything.
Yeah. add those big dark shadows, and then I actually go in at the end with white, and I'll do little white highlights. Just takes a few minutes to dry, but then it goes in, and then it goes in its bag, and it gets sealed or whatever. I don't know if you're a collector, if you like to get those things graded or slabbed and
I'm
whatever.
kind of new to all this.
Yeah.
We've got buddies that are big into the comic book culture and everything like that.
Sure.
Well, you know, I'm here. I might as well come and see what's going.
Well, my buddy Justin, who's running this show here, he's a facilitator for CBCS, so he can actually get your book graded.
Oh, really?
There's a fee involved. I'm not sure what it all is, but he'll take care of you, and you'll get the book back in a few weeks with a grade sealed in that slab, right? Yep.
Plastic, yeah.
And then you're set. It'll kind of lock in its value at that, like it'll lock in its grade at that point, right? And, which is again, it's not something I know a whole lot about. I see my stuff get CGC'd or CBCS'd all the time, and I see them go on eBay, and it's crazy to see what happens to them on eBay. But it's also kind of interesting to see.
I was going to say, it's got to be kind of neat to go on eBay or onto whatever and actually say,
yeah.
oh, holy shit,
like
I don't, my stuff is.
Yeah, like I don't get that money, but it's still nice feedback. You know what I mean? Like it's
going to make you feel good that your artwork and your creations have moved people into something like that where it's sought after.
It's very rewarding, man. There's a couple of books that I did that went astronomical in value for some reason, and so that was interesting to see for me. I'm watching a book that, a $3 floppy book get flipped for $500 online just because it's got a sketch on it or something. It's like, wow.
And that's the amazing thing in my mind is that, like, you see these things, trading cards, comic books, all these kind of things. You never really thought they'd ever be worth.
No, dude. I used to fold my comics up so I could smuggle them out of my house and then trade them at recess. You know what I mean? So no one ever wanted to trade with me because my comics were all folded up.
That took me a hot minute to figure that one out. You see that?
It's awesome. I'm glad that you guys get recognition like that. And, because there's a lot of work that goes into it.
There is. Comics. I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. I've done all kinds of different jobs. I've worked in factories. I've worked construction. I used to dig trenches for a cable company, and I mean that was all hard physical work, and I was in much better physical shape back then from swinging a shovel around. Yeah. But honestly, comics are the hardest job I've ever had, and the rewards are wonderful, and they're very rare. It's kind of you almost have to do it for the love of doing it, because you can't really. It's hard to build a life around the income a comic book artist make. It's amazing to me how many people think comic book artists live this like rock and roll lifestyle where they ride around in limousines and jet planes all day, and it's just not like that, man. It really isn't. For the last 10 years or 8 years, I was the superintendent of my building just to keep the lights on while I was trying to build my art career, right? And I gave that up when I got a full-time comic gig, and everything's been good, but life's harder now. Like I don't have that guaranteed rent anymore, so it's kind of tricky.
Well, it's definitely a passion project, right?
Yeah, it has to be a little bit of that. I mean, I always say, like, you have to love to do it, because it's like, it's a hard job to retire from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless you're a
Sorry, man.
yeah.
Bro, do you mind if I announce you with AfterShock Comics?
Yeah, sure, man.
You
Yeah,
cool with that?
yeah, of course.
Because I'm gonna put we're about to do another announcement, and put Hugh Rooth with Chosen Studios, but I want to put Mike Rooth, AfterShock.
So many cons do you guys do a year then?
I don't do as many as I used to. I miss doing a lot of the ones in the United States I used to go to. I love C2E2 in New York City. I was supposed to be in New York City this year, but I couldn't afford to go, and kind of broke my heart because I missed out on some great opportunities while I was there. But with people I was affiliated with, but. I used to love I think my wife and I used to do like 20, 25 shows a year.
Oh, wow.
So we were doing almost 1 or 2 a month.
I was going to say.
And some of them were local. Some of them were just small local shows for where we're just near Toronto. Other ones we had to travel great distances to get to. And, it's, I don't know, it's always cool to get that other slice, that other, see how the other... just different bits of culture. Like, I love the East Coast, and I haven't spent anywhere near enough time in Western Canada. So we were in Saskatoon a couple weeks ago, and it was fantastic. Like,
Saskatoon's a beautiful city.
It is, but this is a beautiful city too. I love Brandon. I like the quiet here. I like the
It is definitely peaceful.
I like the long distance viewing you get. It's pretty cool.
It's prairies all my life, so you get some wide open spaces, right?
I think. I don't know. I just like being able to look at a field and actually see the whole field and see the field beyond that field and see you know.
The whole dog won't run away for.
Watch your dog run away for 3 days, you know.
Well, we were in Toronto last year for meetings, and it was to go from here to there. Like it's definitely an eye-opening experience, right? Where there's just people all the time, and there's always something going on.
Oh yeah, I had a good friend of mine who lives in a small town in Nova Scotia, and he came to Toronto for a Comic-Con, and he was just like shell-shocked. Like he was like, "This is so different," you know. He thinks Toronto's the greatest place in the world, and I'm like, well,
it has its moments.
It has. I would, I like Toronto. I mean, don't want to, shit talk Toronto, but like, I grew up. I was born there, and I've lived around there most of my life, and there's just so much Canada to see. There's just so much more of this country to see. And
my wife and I were talking about that. Like it's nice to go and travel across the U.S. and to go to Europe or whatever, but like there's so much home that we fail to actually.
Honestly, man, I could go to Cape Breton and just stay there forever. There's something about Cape Breton that's just infectious. And I mean, Newfoundland. I could live in Newfoundland, and the winters are tough, but I just stay inside and draw pictures.
Oh, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Drink rum and draw pictures.
That's it.
Get some salted cod once in a while.
That's it, man.
But we were in Moncton there, and I really associated Moncton with kind of small town prairies, right? Like it was like everybody still waves, everybody said hello.
Oh,
it didn't matter if
Moncton's,
you were at a crosswalk or not, they still stopped. It's like, holy shit! Like
some of my favorite people in the world are in Moncton, man. Like Nick Bradshaw is a good friend of mine. He's out there, and his lady Danica's out there, and man, so many of my friends are out there, and it's just an awesome place. And they got an awesome little show out there too called the East Coast Comic Expo. Okay. And it's just a small show, but man, it's pure comics. Like it's just comics.
Yeah.
So there's creators there, and there's just people selling comics, and it's just awesome. It's just fantastic.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad this kind of stuff's being kept.
Well, the fella Justin who is one of the showrunners here. He's actually from Moncton originally. And as soon as I met him, I'm like, yeah, you're a Maritimer. I got you down for sure as a Maritimer.
You figured out.
Yeah. Because there's just and I feel that a bit out here too. Like there's just a friendly vibe out here, man.
Yeah.
A very welcome and friendly vibe, and conversations I've had with people this weekend have been amazing, and it's just been an awesome time.
That's good.
I can't wait to come back, man.
Glad you're enjoying it out here, man. That's great to hear.
Oh yeah, I'd be very happy to come back.
It's great for the con and great for the community.
Oh yeah, man. Well, it's nice to see the community come out in such numbers, like for a small time show that no one's really heard of.
Well, yeah, for year one, yesterday was impressive. I was really
absolutely, man, absolutely. These guys got nothing to, they're doing everything right. I mean, like I said, oh yeah, man, yeah. I gotta get one of those shirts though. Yeah. Have you got one that doesn't say volunteer?
I don't know. We'll have to talk to Jill.
I just think it's great. I got to get one of them shirts.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be taking so long. I just want to do something kind of cool, like maybe he's leaning and he's... Throw some blood splatter on there in a sec too. It'll look rad.
That's awesome. It's pretty wild. Loving it.
I wish they would make blank covers for Dark Arc. Oh my God, that'd be like currency for me. I'd be drawing I'd be drawing Dark Arc covers all day long. So if anyone from AfterShock's listening, make some Dark Arc covers, because I want to draw on them.
No, that's amazing. Just for the few minutes we've been talking, what you can come up with.
Well, it's still like laying in stuff. Like these take a little bit of time because I want to. I don't like just a muddy Sharpie drawing, But I lost my other pen like this, and I have no idea where it went. And I need to find it because it's. No, it's just it's one of the small ones. Yeah. Let's see if I can find it in here.
The fine tip.
The fine tip, and I meant to grab a bunch before I came here because it's perfect for drawing on these covers because not a lot of stuff will stick to the glossy stock, but this will be okay. We'll make it work. This one I just have to remind it that it's a pen.
Yeah.
And then
tell it every once in a while.
Like, hey, pen, wake up and do the pen stuff that you do.
Don't make me dunk you in water.
That's right. That's right. So what I'll do now is I'll just glaze in a bit of red in some of these spots where I want some red. And then that'll take a sec to dry, and then while that's drying, I can do some other stuff. And I will add a little more gore down here, add some gore, make it nasty.
Yeah, you gotta have some gore.
Oh yeah. Well, I haven't even got to the blood splatter yet. I'll dose this up with some blood splatter too. It'll look good.
That's awesome.
But yet they still
So did you do Conan and everything then?
I worked on some Conan stuff. Yeah, that was the thrill of a lifetime to work on some Conan. I'm a gigantic Conan fan, but I'll never forget it. Like it was a friend of mine actually who has a shop in Buffalo, Williamsville, and just near Buffalo, and he's got a shop called 1811 Comics. Howard Cadmus, real nice guy. And I had no idea he was doing this, but I got this phone call from Dynamite Comics, and they were just like, "Hey, you've been recommended to do a cover for one of our books." And I was like, "What's the book?" And they were like, "It's Conan and Red Sonja." And I think I had like a mini stroke. Like I think I dropped the phone and was like, because Red Sonja and Conan were owned by different companies. I had no idea they were doing a collaboration like this. And I ended up getting the cover gig for his shop.
Oh, that's
so that was pretty awesome. The only trouble was I didn't have a lot of time to turn it around, so I had to kind of rush that one. It's my big regret. There's some things I would love to go. I kind of grimace now when I look at that work because there's some stuff I'd like to change about it.
To go back and
If I could have had a little more time, but one of my favorite Conan artists is Earl Norham, and they wanted that Earl Norham style look, where that real painted kind of look.
Yeah.
And little did I know. So I was channeling Earl Norham my hardest that weekend, trying to get that kind of soft rendered vibe. And what I didn't know was at that time, that weekend that I was doing this deadline, Earl Norham was actually on his last few moments of life. So I channeled him so hard, I feel like I may have actually took his life, because he died that weekend. And I felt terrible about it. I felt like it was my fault somehow, because my brain works in stupid ways.
Oh yeah.
But he's one of my heroes, and he never got the recognition he deserved. And trying to do him, I did it on the same weekend he passed away. Like it was just a strange thing, just a strange.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I remember being a kid in the Conan books. It was always so awesome.
Oh yeah. Well, what I loved about the Conan books, especially the Savage Sword of Conan books, was that they had that. They had those pinups in the back, and I always wanted to have a pinup in the back, and that was my one of my little dreams, was to get a Conan, get published in a Conan book one day, and it happened. And actually, before that happened, I had done a pinup for Savage Sword for Dark Horse, and man, it was just such a thrill to finally, what it made me realize. That happened very early in my comics career. And it made me realize that I'm gonna have to dream bigger, because that was all I ever wanted to do. Just get it published in Conan one time, and then I'm good.
Then,
I can go be a garbage man after that or something, or whatever. But no, it ended up turning into some other work, and that was awesome.
Well, keep doing it, man. Your artwork is amazing.
Oh, thanks, dude.
That's good.
You never know. You never know.
Hey, Jill.
Hey, are we just standing here throwing all our money at him? Like, just take it all.
Yeah, just keep taking it.
What can I get for this?
Now
we're ready to trade my shirt.
Now we'll do a little magic trick with some blood splatter, and we'll be good to go on this one.
Oh, sweet.
Let me just find my special red pen for that. I think it's in my...
The special blood pen?
My blood pen, yep. Gotta have a blood pen. Let's see here. Blood pen.
Oh, sweet.
It's a big, red, fat Sharpie, but it's poster paint.
I was going to say, it's the shake it up.
Yep, so you gotta shake it up pretty good.
What did you get?
I'm getting a one-of-a-kind piece.
I want one.
I'm so excited.
Gotta find my tube now. My
This
little.
is great.
Oh, actually, in my jacket pocket, I got something that's gonna work just fine.
I came stumbling in here and was like, oh.
I'm even gonna use a red straw. Check this out.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Genius.
Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Gonna pump out some blood. Come on now.
Who's calling me? Are you calling me?
Pump it out.
Oh,
No,
I'm
not
not
me.
talking to him right now.
All right. So, red paint, little straw, and then we knock some blood splatter in there.
Oh, that's sweet.
And as I said yesterday,
These ones are really
blood splatter are
cool.
kind of
I
like
didn't
happy little
notice
accidents. You can't control where the splatter's going to go,
Oh, yeah.
and that's all right.
It's just like real life.
You know?
You just never know.
Because if you axe a demon in half inside of a little pen like this, the blood might, it might do its own thing. You never know.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
what we'll do is
that's
we'll let
sweet.
this dry a little bit. and then you'll be good to go on this.
Oh, good. Now we have his DNA.
Yeah.
Yep.
We can frame him.
Clone.
It's not working so well.
Clone.
I need.
Just Mike Rooths everywhere.
Is the world ready?
I'm gonna go with hard no.
One more splatter, and then we'll be good to go on this guy.
Give it as much splatter
so
as you feel it
cool.
needs.
That was my panic.
So awesome.
Because there'd be like a good 2-3 second delay.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, right? I
Kid in
know.
a candy store.
I know. I'm like fanning hard today. I've been trying to be professional, but it's all over now.
It's the last
Yeah.
day.
Now I'm just
You can fangirl all you
now
want.
I'm a fangirl. I can't help it. I'm swooning.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Amy's gonna be so mad because I think I may have blown a budget that I might
Yeah,
have had.
I know. I'm just spending Scott's money.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It all works out.
Yeah,
then.
right? He'll never
Let that
know.
sit and dry for a sec.
Yep. No, that's.
And did you want me to sign the other one you have? You have two versions of this,
if
right?
you want to
yeah,
sign
I'd
them
be
both,
happy to
I'm
sign
all for it, man.
For sure.
This is great.
For sure, no problem. So let's just set this guy aside just for a minute,
Okay.
let him dry, and then I'll sign this one up for you.
So cool.
All right.
Oh, sweet. Scott got his comic book collection out and it's out.
He found all his stuff from Dawn. It didn't get destroyed in the flood.
Oh,
so he's
that's
so
awesome.
excited. Yeah, he's just over there shaking. Like, it's so great.
And I was cleaning. I helped him clean out the basement.
Yeah,
Oh,
what
Oh,
a mess.
man.
Oh, it was so gross.
8 years of being a janitor, I know that's those kind of water troubles, man. We had a water main where the water main connects to our building.
Yeah.
That piece of equipment broke down, and so the main city water was just flooding into the basement of our building. And I had just started the job there, and the owners of the building were nowhere to be reached, so I was panicking, right? It was happening in the pump room, and there was no drains or anything like that. It was just terrible. I didn't have a shovel, and all the red sand was coming in through the walls, like right with the mud and the water. And like it left the whole basement full of sand. I used a plastic ice cream bucket to dig it out because I had no shovel or anything to use. It was a nightmare. Just crazy.
And that's water does. Like fire's bad, but like water, like it
Oh.
doesn't.
Water, yeah, I know.
The rot and the mold.
Yeah.
like,
Oh, it's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's
fire's horrible because it's gone. Like it's gone.
Yeah.
Where water is like you can still look at it and be like, oh.
that may need a few minutes to dry yet, but there we go. There's a dark arc remark
That's awesome.
So
from
cool.
BRAN-CON.
So cool.
There for a second.
Yeah. Let that dry.
Yeah. You can just slide that back in the thing in a minute, but it'll
Yeah.
drag the paint right now if you do it. So.
I think that was
Yeah. Yeah, that one's yours. Yep.
When you
perfect.
do what?
Yep.
How does he draw?
Yeah.
Oh, so those are just printed that way, but that was that blood splatter. To do that effect, what I did was I made a huge, big blood splatter, and then I scanned it in my computer, and then I stretched it so it looked like it was stretching away in the distance. So use some little sneaky tricks for that one.
That's a good one.
Mommy.
Oh, cool.
That's a good
The many
one.
faces of the Joker.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the new Joker?
Not
You
yet.
okay?
No, I've been meaning to go see it. I heard it's pretty good.
I haven't got to it either.
I'm one.
Yeah, that Joker piece there was supposed to be used for a special portfolio in New York Comic Con for a special DC portfolio, but when it got out that I wasn't able to go to the show, I apparently was disqualified from the project, which
Oh, really?
makes no sense to me, but that's what happened.
I was going to say so too.
It seemed like a little sketchy to me, but anyway, that's what happened, and I'm not in the book. But the artwork ended up going to an animal charity in South Africa, so that
Good.
went to a good cause anyway. So
It's a book?
This one right here? Yeah, that's one of the comics there.
yeah,
That's
A comic book?
that he
yeah.
that
So
he added to.
these are all covers that I did here. Yep, all my own work there.
Wait, so you colored this one and then left this one blank?
Yeah, so we just did two versions of that one. Yeah, one with color and one with the
So,
black and
so if
white.
people wanted to, they could color on it, which would not.
If they wanted to, they're not great covers to try to color on, but yeah, I guess you could color with markers or something maybe.
Okay, let me see if it's dried enough.
No. That's good.
There we go. Well, thank you very much.
Hey,
for
my
your
pleasure,
time,
man. What's your name again?
Jeff.
Jeff.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, you too, man. You too.
What? Oh.
Well, hope to see you again.
Oh, you will, man.
And
We won't miss it again.
I'm going to start looking for more of your work. That's awesome, man.
Cheers, man. Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
Yeah, you too. I don't know if anyone's listening, if I'm still on. Mike is still on? If anyone's still listening, I'm thinking about doing some kind of a Patreon type thing. I've enjoyed these video feeds, and if you have enjoyed them too, and you think that's something I should do, just let me know if you think that'd be something you'd be into. I'm always curious about Patreon, but I don't Patreon. I'm not really know how it works, but I know that it's pretty popular and people dig it. So. Only trouble with drawn hands is I usually only have my own hands as reference, and my own hands are weird, stubby things. So if I draw lady characters and they have my hands, my editors know right away. They're like, "Hey Ruth, you got to stop drawing your hands on Wonder Woman." How you doing today?
Really good, thank
Good,
you. Yeah.
good.
This is all you guys, eh? All the
This is all AfterShock. Yeah, these are all covers that I've done and some different things. This is a special exclusive for the show.
Seen that.
And
Super
yeah.
cool.
No, thanks, man. These are all just prints of mine in here. If you see anything in there and you like, prints are only $5 today.
Oh, dude. What time are you guys
I think
doing
it
your
goes-
thing, Joe?
I think it goes till 5 o'clock.
Till 5 o'clock? Okay.
Yeah, and
We're just kind of getting here, so we're gonna probably do a lap and then circle back.
sure, man.
Yeah, but oh man.
In about 10 minutes, I'm going to be on stage doing a sketch battle with the mighty Hugh Rookwood over there. So
I
that's
like it.
going to
We're
be.
gonna go check it out.
Yeah,
so yeah,
that should be fun.
We'll cheer you on.
And there's a chance to win the artwork too. 'Cause we'll each be doing some artwork, and there's
Oh,
raffle tickets. So
yeah, that's,
someone in
I
the
think-
audience. Oh yeah, someone in the audience will be getting that drawing. So
I'm not lucky, she is though. So here's hoping. Here's hoping. Man, this stuff's so cool.
thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Really, really rad.
You guys from Brandon?
We are. Yeah, we're
Awesome.
locals. What are you selling the?
So that one, Stefan can tell you. I think the Virgin sets are.
Yeah, the color sets are 20, the one color are 35.
Oh yeah, color sets are 20. The other ones are 35.